So here's the question. Is it actually possible to get the full suite of premium SEO tools? I'm talking Ahrefs, SEMrush, the whole professional toolkit for less than you'd pay for a couple of pizzas? I mean, it's a super tempting offer, right? It promises to level the playing field for anyone on a tight budget. But you know what they say, if a deal seems too good to be true, it almost always is.
See, on one hand, you've got this incredible promise, a massive arsenal of powerful SEO software for this unbelievably low price. But on the other hand, you have the harsh reality, which is unreliability, some really serious security risks, and honestly, what usually just amounts to a complete waste of your time and your money.
And that's exactly what we're going to break down here. We are going to pull back the curtain on the hidden dangers of these so-called group buy services. And, more importantly, I'm going to show you the professional, safe, and, often free alternatives that you can use instead.
Okay, let's get into it. First, we'll unpack that whole $29 SEO dream. Then, we'll dive right into the user experience nightmare that so many people run into. From there, it gets serious with the security and billing scams. We'll hear what the actual tool makers have to say about this, and then finally, I'll give you the professional alternatives you can start using today to actually grow your business safely and for real.
All right, so let's start with the dream itself. What exactly are these services, and how do they make this offer sound so irresistible? Well, at their core, group buy SEO tools are services that take one single, legitimate, and very expensive subscription to a tool like Ahrefs or Moz, and then they illegally share that one login with hundreds, sometimes even thousands of other users, all for a small monthly fee. Think of it like an unauthorized, massively overcrowded carpool for software.
The way they do it is pretty slick, I'll give them that. An operator buys a real subscription. They throw up a nice-looking website to sell shared access, and then they use these tech workarounds like remote desktops to try and hide the fact that hundreds of people are all using one account. But here's where it goes from just the shady little workaround to something way more serious. And this is the crucial part. A lot of these operations are funded with stolen credit cards. That means by using these services, you could be, without even knowing it, part of a criminal enterprise.
Okay, so that's how they're supposed to work. Now let's talk about how they fail in the real world. This is where that dream just completely falls apart and the user experience nightmare really begins, all told by people who've actually paid for this stuff. This right here is the #1 complaint. You pay your money, and hey, maybe it works for a few days. But the tool makers are always on the hunt for these shared accounts, and the second they find one, they shut it down. And just like that, the tool you paid for is gone. And there's absolutely no guarantee the operator is going to bother getting a new account. And even if the account is somehow still active, the performance is just crippling. Because you're being routed through the operator's servers and you're sharing that connection with tons of other people, simple tasks become impossible. I mean, can you imagine waiting an hour for a single report to load? Just think about that. Any money you thought you were saving is instantly gone, just based on the cost of your own wasted time. Your productivity just grinds to a complete halt. And this, right here, just perfectly illustrates the whole problem. These tools were never designed for this. You're constantly getting kicked out, you can't save your projects, the daily search limits are used up before you even log in the morning. You end up stuck in this frustrating loop of just trying to get the tool to work, forget about actually doing any work with it.
So the tools barely work. That's frustrating. But now we're going to move from just simple inconvenience to some really serious financial and security threats. This is where the real danger of these services is hiding.
Okay, let this sink in for a second. To get access, some of these services tell you to download and install third-party software. And this isn't just some browser extension, we're talking about an application like UltraViewer that demands full, remote, administrative access to your entire computer. You are literally handing over the keys to your machine to a completely anonymous, unregulated operator. The risk here is absolutely enormous.
And the financial risks are just as bad. I mean, look at this. This user tried to cancel minutes after they bought because the tool didn't work. Not only was their refund request just ignored, but their card was then fraudulently charged 17 more times. You're handing your payment information over to people who have already shown they have zero problem with unethical and illegal behavior.
And this support pattern is a classic scam. Before you give them your money, oh, they're super responsive, super helpful, but the second the payment goes through, poof, they're gone. Emails go unanswered, support tickets get closed with no response, and if you complain, they'll often turn it around and accuse you of violating their terms just so they have an excuse to keep your money and provide nothing.
So we've heard from the users, but what about the companies that actually build these incredible tools? Well, their verdict is unanimous, and it is crystal clear.
SEMrush could not be more direct about it. The only legitimate place to get their software is their official website. And you notice they use the word fraud. That's not an accident. This isn't some gray area. This is a direct warning from the company itself.
And here you go. SpyFu confirms that direct link to criminal activity we talked about earlier. They've seen firsthand that these group buy accounts are often bought with stolen credit cards. This takes it from just breaking the rules to being tangled up in actual fraud.
And here's the bottom line from BuzzSumo and really every other major tool provider. Using these services is a direct violation of their terms and conditions. These accounts are actively hunted and shut down without any warning. So, any money you've put in is just gone, instantly.
Okay, so group buys are clearly a terrible, terrible idea. But what do you do if you genuinely can't afford $129 a month for a subscription? Well, the good news is there are plenty of powerful, professional, and totally legitimate alternatives. You know, you can build an incredibly powerful SEO foundation without spending a single dime. Google Analytics and Search Console are non-negotiable. That's direct data from the source. Tools like Yoast are amazing for on-page optimization, and the free versions of Ubersuggest or Answer the Public are fantastic for keyword and topic research. These are the tools that pros use every single day.
And beyond that, you can think strategically. Partnering with a marketing agency that already has all the tool subscriptions can be way more cost-effective than buying them yourself. You can also just focus on the fundamentals: great content, site speed, user experience, which often don't require any premium tools at all. Or you can use a dedicated tool finder to match your specific needs and your budget to the right piece of software.
For instance, there are specialized websites out there that compare dozens of these leading tools. They'll analyze all the features and the pricing plans to give you a personalized recommendation. Using one of those ensures you're not overpaying for a bunch of features you don't even need, and it helps you find the tool that's a perfect fit for what you're actually trying to do.
So look, the bottom line is this. Group buy tools are a false economy. The tiny bit of money you think you're saving up front is absolutely dwarfed by the massive costs in wasted time, lost productivity, and the very real risks to your financial and digital security.
And this really matters because the opportunity in SEO is enormous, and it's only getting bigger. We are looking at a market that's projected to hit nearly $144 billion by 2030. Success in a space like this requires a professional approach, reliable tools, and an ethical foundation. You just can't build a real, sustainable business on a shortcut that is literally designed to fail.
So that really just leaves us with one final question to think about. As you build your strategy and you choose your tools, are you building on a solid foundation of quality and integrity, or are you just trying to build a house of cards that could come crashing down at any moment? The choice you make is going to define your potential for success.